Pinnacles National Park is located in Central California, roughly 2 hours southeast of the San Francisco Bay Area. The national park was established on January 10, 2013, and is the newest national park in California. Pinnacles National Park is actually the closest national park to where I live, so during the spring of 2024, my grandpa and I decided to head out there and check out the national park for ourselves. Pinnacles National Park is split into east and west sections, which are not directly connected by roads, so you really have to choose which section you want to visit prior to visiting the national park. The east section is located off of California State Route 25 and is a lot more popular, so that's the side we decided to explore on our visit to Pinnacles National Park. We got some food in the town of Hollister, which is located about 30 minutes north of the national park along California State Route 25. And then as we made our way to Pinnacles National Park, we went into the east entrance and drove all the way up to the Bear Gulch parking area, where we decided to get out of our car and do some exploring.
All right, Grandpa, what are we doing today?
Well, we're going to go check out Pinnacles National Park here in Central California.
Yep. After today, this will be our 5th national park that we have visited here in California. So what can you tell me about Pinnacles National Park?
This will be the first time I've ever been to it. It's really weird because I've lived here a long time and it's close, but I've never been there. I've had friends that have gone there, but I've never been there. I understand it was probably created volcanically and also from probably from earthquakes. The San Andreas Fault is very close to there, so that's pretty much what I know about it.
Yep, and it's actually California's newest national park. It was actually established here about 10 years ago in 2013. And it is, like you said, it's actually the closest national park to where we live, and it's kind of hard to believe that we haven't been to it yet, but I'm really looking forward to visiting it today.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see it. Like I said, I've never been there, so it should be fun.
We're a little over an hour away, and we will see you down the road when we get there.
It took us roughly 2 hours to drive to Pinnacles National Park from our house located in California's Central Valley.
Welcome to Pinnacles National Park.
All right, so me and Grandpa have made it safely into Pinnacles National Park, and we are here at the Bear Gulch area in the park, and we're going to be hiking up to the Bear Gulch Reservoir and possibly check out the Bear Gulch Cave. So are you looking forward to doing some hiking here in Pinnacles National Park and seeing what we can see?
Yeah, I am. It's like I said, it's the first time I've been here, so it seems like an interesting park, so I guess we'll head on our way.
Yep. All right, we will see you guys down the trail, which starts right here.
My grandpa and I visited this park here during the middle of the week, so crowds weren't really an issue during this visit to the national park, and it's actually one of the least visited national parks in California and gets roughly 250,000 visitors a year, so we really enjoyed our time here without the lack of crowds.
So this is where me and Grandpa are right here. We're gonna hike down this trail and eventually end up at the Bear Gulch Reservoir. And then we're going to start to head up towards the high peaks and get as close as we can to the treacherous sections without actually going on it, because I don't want to risk my grandpa hiking on some really sketchy trails just for his health and everything like that. So yeah, we'll see what we can see along this path right here. We're going to try to go into the Bear Gulch Cave as well and see what we can see in there.
Once you leave the parking area, it is pretty much all uphill as you make your way up towards the Bear Gulch Cave.
Man, I just love the moss that's on this trail right here.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a lot of, when you get moisture like that in the shade, this is what you get.
This is the time of the year for it too, with all the rain that we've gotten.
It's beautiful in here. And it's all the way up the trail, looks like. Looks really nice. This is nice.
This is nice too, because it's in the shade, but the shade won't last very long, so.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be here in the summer, because it gets in the hundreds up here in the summertime. It gets really warm.
Yep.
And that is not an understatement. It can easily get over 100 degrees here in the summertime.
This reminds me of the Pacific Northwest almost right here in this section with all this moss and greenery. Sure is nice. And just the stunning views right over here as well.
My expectations for amazing views and scenery were pretty low when going into this national park, but I'm happy to say I was pleasantly surprised and honestly quite blown away by some of the views that we were seeing here along this trail as we made our way up in elevation.
This is the split for the Rim Trail and High Peaks Trail. Goes that way. But we're going this way towards the Bear Gulch Reservoir and Cave. Just more stunning scenery right off the trail right here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
One nice thing about these lower sections is that there is plenty of tree cover, especially if you're here in the summertime, so I'm sure that's really nice if you're here in the summer so you don't have to worry about the sun beating on you the entire time.
Be careful if you come here after it rains, because it looks like these trails can get a little bit muddy and slippery. And it's about 10:30 in the morning, and you can definitely see there's still dew left on the foliage here. Honestly, I kept my expectations pretty low for this park, but so far it's blowing my expectations away. What about you?
Yeah, it is. It's really actually pretty cool. I mean, there's so many different types of like rocks stacked on top of rocks and everything. It's weird. It's almost like caused by the fault.
The San Andreas Fault, that is.
Yeah, the San Andreas Fault, because it's very, very near here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
This trail just continues to amaze me. Look at that. We got a little bit of a tunnel that we're going to walk through that just goes completely through this giant cliff right here.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is pretty awesome, really. I really want to see what we got in there.
Yep.
It's really cool how this tunnel right here just basically makes it look like you're going into another dimension, but you can easily see light on the other side of it, so it's not that long of a tunnel, but it's still pretty cool to walk through in my opinion.
Well, that was exciting, to say the least, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. You got to watch your footing in there a little bit, because we got sunglasses on and they go dark. So it's, although it's a short tunnel, you still got to watch your footing.
Look at that! Look at this section right here, where we're basically on a cliff.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's really amazing to see these rock formations along the trail here as you make your way up.
All right, it is decision time. Are we gonna go through the Bear Gulch Cave, or are we gonna bypass it?
Let's give it a shot.
All right.
Let's see how I do, and hopefully I'll be able to get through it okay. And if not, we'll have to back out and go around.
All right, you heard Grandpa. On we go. The trail definitely gets a little more tricky in this area right here. Better watch your step. This is definitely the muddiest section of the trail so far. But my grandpa seems to be taking it like a champ. So far, at least. I could have just jinxed him.
Yeah, probably. I'm all right.
Since we were here in the springtime, there was a little bit of runoff going off the side of these rocks right here, so just be careful when you're walking along the trail here in the springtime and the winter.
And here's a view looking back towards where we started. Whew. We've come up quite a ways, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. It's I don't know how far up we've came, but it's a little bit of a hike. You definitely, at my age, you got to take it a little slow, and easy, because you don't want to fall. There's a lot of tripping hazards up here.
If you're afraid of heights, just be warned. There is no guardrail or anything right here. That is one steep drop.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to get too close to the edge because there's loose pebbles and gravel there, and one slip and you're down.
Yep.
Me personally, I don't have a fear of heights, but even I was a little bit uncomfortable or on edge as I was standing really close right here to the edge and looking down. These heights probably don't look as intense on camera, but trust me, it's a pretty steep drop off. You guys can see where the trail heads towards the Bear Gulch Cave right over there. This section of the trail, you almost have to bend over a little bit to avoid hitting your head on the side of the rock here as you make your way around.
Gotta crouch down a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Watch out for this log right here.
I guess one nice perk of coming here during the wet season is you get all these seasonal waterfalls right here in the park. This is just one of many on the trail.
I definitely recommend some hiking boots that can walk in a little bit of water and mud as you make your way up these trails here if you're visiting in the winter or the springtime. In the summertime you should be good though, as there's no real water issues along this trail.
So one unique thing about Pinnacles National Park is most of the caves here are actually rockfall caves, which basically are caused by these rocks falling inside these like canyons right here, thus creating a cave. And just amazing views looking back to where we came from, right here.
And most of that is caused by the San Andreas Fault.
Yep.
Over the millennia, because that fault's been there. It's one of the major plates in California.
Rock climbing is definitely a popular thing to do here in the park. You can see people getting ready to climb up that cliff right there.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Whew, definitely gotta be doing some crouching down in here, that's for sure. Man, this is quite an adventure, isn't it?
Yeah, this is. This is real spelunking here.
Hey, you want to tell a campfire story? Or a ghost story while we're in here?
Not really.
All right. On we go. Thank God we got these higher-powered flashlights right here, that's for sure. That is where we came from, up there. And then right here, of course, we do get some natural light coming in. And that's where we're going.
Yep.
Whew, man, what an adventure, huh?
Yeah, isn't this fun?
And that's where we're heading.
Be sure to check the Pinnacles National Park website on the status of these caves, because they do have seasonal closures for the bat colonies that like to inhabit these caves during certain times of the year. The caves were fully open in March of 2024 when my grandpa and I were visiting the national park, but they are subject to closure during certain times of the year. Right when you exit the Bear Gulch Cave, you are treated to this amazing view of this rock that just looks like it's ready to crush you as you make your way out of the cave. I've seen a lot of awesome things in national parks, but this is one of the coolest and most unique things I've ever seen inside of a national park. And then, of course, as we were making our way out of the Bear Gulch Cave up towards the Bear Gulch Reservoir, we were treated to this awesome seasonal waterfall here. It was truly awesome to see something like this in Pinnacles National Park, as I was totally not expecting to see it, but it was just a really awesome sight to see, and my grandpa and I really enjoyed hiking through the Bear Gulch Cave as we made our way up to the Bear Gulch Reservoir. This was easily a highlight as we were spending time here in Pinnacles National Park. The Bear Gulch Reservoir is easily one of the biggest highlights that you could access in this section of Pinnacles National Park, and it was created in 1935 and was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps.
All right, Grandpa, we have successfully made it through the Bear Gulch Cave to the Bear Gulch Reservoir. What did you think of the hike, and what do you think of the views right here?
No, the views up here are fantastic of this little reservoir here. It's pretty neat. The highlight for me, though, was coming through that cave. That was just really awesome. Yeah. It was kind of strenuous, but I made it through. Did okay.
Yep, and just awesome views all around us right here. We got the reservoir, and then we can kind of see what we're going to be getting into if we head this way. So,
yeah, we're gonna attempt going up farther to Vista Point, but I'll see how I do.
Yep.
Of course, the views around the Bear Gulch Reservoir ain't too bad either.
All right, we are gonna jump on the rim trail from here. It is all uphill with very limited shade, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna see how I do. I've done good so far, so we'll keep going.
I cannot stress this enough. It is all uphill with very limited shade as you make your way up towards the high peaks here in Pinnacles National Park. I do not recommend doing this in the heat of the summer because it can get very brutally hot here, and the limited shade can also add to other heat-related illnesses. Be sure you carry plenty of water if you're choosing to do this hike here, especially when it's warm outside.
Just more awesome sections here as we continue up the rim trail past the Bear Gulch Reservoir.
As you start to gain elevation, you can always look back and see how much farther you've come since you started your journey way down there in the canyon, way below down there by the parking lot.
Just awesome views up here, huh? And you can even see the parking lot back where we started.
Yep, there it is, way down there.
Whew. Man, what a gorgeous day in Pinnacles National Park.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better day. Nice and sunny, but it's not too hot, and you got a little bit of a breeze.
Are you enjoying your time here in Pinnacles National Park?
I am, really am. I'm glad we came here. I've never been here, but it's pretty awesome.
Right there's the close-up of the parking lot where we started, and now we're way up here.
Of course, the amazing views of the surrounding landscape as you make your way up in elevation are definitely your awesome reward as you continue this hike up towards the high peaks. At this point, you've also only come up about a third of the elevation that you will gain on the entire High Peaks Trail, so be sure to know that you're in this for the long haul.
It's straight uphill to the high peaks from that junction right there to go back to the Bear Gulch parking area.
Yeah.
No shade whatsoever.
No shade. Starting to feel it a little bit up here.
Yep.
Climbing. But I think I'll make it. I'll be okay.
It was at this point of the trail where I thought we were getting really close to the high peaks, but it turns out it was just a false summit. If you start your journey at the parking lot and make it all the way to the high peaks, you will gain almost 2,000 feet of elevation, which is just crazy to think about considering that this park doesn't reach very high elevations as other national parks do in California, but it still can be a strenuous hike if you're not in shape, of course.
Got some California golden poppies here along the side of the trail. A little early in the season for wildflowers, but really nice to see these here. It's our state flower right there.
Yeah, they are. I've seen a few wildflowers here and there popping up.
It was at this point when we started coming around this bend right here that we actually saw the summit of the high peaks, and man, it was an awesome sight to see and just really kind of blew me away that this type of scenery can be found here in this area of California.
Man, those are some crazy rock formations right behind you over there.
Yeah, they are. They're all over the place, everywhere.
That is what awaits me and Grandpa. Right over there is the switchbacks heading up to the high peaks. Better enjoy the shade while it lasts.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah.
We got about 600 feet to go here in the last half mile. It's gonna be quite a slog.
Yeah.
It was at this point in the trail where we reached our little second rock tunnel here, but it was definitely a lot shorter than the first one, but still very impressive to walk through and just really kind of just take it all in as you were making your way up towards the high peaks. It's things like this that just really add to the hiking experience in Pinnacles National Park, and I can't say that I've been on a lot of hiking trails that have these features, so I just really appreciate them whenever I see them.
This trail right here just gets absolutely incredible as we continue to head up towards the high peaks. Just amazing views of all the rocks and boulders here. You're killing it, Grandpa.
Yeah. I'm killing it or it's gonna kill me, one or the other.
Age is just a number.
Yeah.
You can see how far we've come up though. From all the way down there where we were standing by that rock formation.
Yeah.
We really didn't see that many people on the High Peaks Trail here on this particular day that we were hiking here in the national park. We probably only saw about a dozen or so people.
One thing I definitely want to preface this by saying is you do not want to be here in the summertime. It is early March and I'd say it's probably around 60 degrees outside. I'm wearing sweats and a t-shirt and I'm borderline overheating right now. I would highly recommend doing this hike in shorts and a t-shirt if you can, just because this trail is mostly in the sun and it just beats right down on you. But definitely do not do this hike in the summertime because it gets over 100 degrees here, right, Grandpa?
It sure does.
Let's see how much further we got left. You can see where those people are up there. We're about 2,300 feet above sea level where we're at right now. All right, what are your thoughts on this section of the trail? It's steep, it's a slog.
It's okay.
But it's pretty straightforward, right?
It's straightforward, it's good. You just have to take your time because you're not only walking up, but you're having to step up on rocks.
Yep.
So it's twice the work.
Just awesome views up here as we get close to the summit. This is switchback number 6. And you can see number 7 right up there. Definitely not as bad as the 99 switchbacks that are on Mount Whitney, but
yeah, that's for sure.
there's still switchbacks.
Yeah.
This one's number 6 and number 7 is right in sight up there.
I can't tell you how hard this section is right here as you make your way up towards the summit of the high peaks, but the views will definitely be worth it. As much as I was impressed with myself, I was even more proud of my grandpa for making it this far.
We're on our final push right here. The end is in sight. And the views don't stop being amazing. The end is near, my friend. The trail, that is.
I hope so.
You can see just how far we've come because you can see the Bear Gulch Reservoir out there in the distance.
Yep, there it is.
This was one of the first animal sightings that we saw in the entire park. It's not much, but we'll certainly take what we can get.
Looks like we're on the final switchbacks here, coming up to the high peaks. Well, we have made it to the top of the high peaks.
Yeah, we sure have. It was quite a hike. It was a little strenuous, but I made it.
I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Gained over 1,300 feet of elevation since the Bear Gulch Reservoir.
Yeah, it's standing up here and looking down at the reservoir. You can see how high you came.
What'd you think of the hike overall?
Oh, the hike was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of it.
And the views up here?
Oh, fantastic.
My grandpa is absolutely right. The views up here at the top of the high peaks here in Pinnacles National Park are absolutely spectacular in every direction that you look. Right here we're looking to the north and west, and down there you can see the little shack where they have a little bit of a restroom if you need to use it up here, since these options are pretty limited in this area of the park. But now we're looking more towards the south, back towards Southern California. And then as you can see, there's just so many rock formations up here at the high peaks area of Pinnacles National Park. Many of the rock formations here in Pinnacles National Park are eroded formations from an extinct volcano that has long been relocated from its original location due to the movements along the San Andreas Fault, which is present near the national park.
Right down there you can see the parking lot for the west side of the park. The views up here along the high peaks are just absolutely incredible. Me and my grandpa will not be walking the High Peaks Trail though, just because that trail is by far the most strenuous hike in the park. And I don't want to put my grandpa through that, so we're just going to end up going back the way we came. And here's the view of the high peaks looking in the opposite direction. You can even see the Bear Gulch Reservoir out there, where we were earlier today. Just awesome, awesome views in Pinnacles National Park. Right down there you can see the trail where we hiked up and where we're going to hike back down. Alright, so me and Grandpa are going to be heading back down to the Bear Gulch parking area where we parked. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing the high peaks today because that is by far the most strenuous hike in the park, and I do not want to put my grandpa through that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't do it. I don't think I could do that one because there's too many stairs and different weird stuff up there.
Yep. We're going to head back down, so wish us luck. We'll let you know if we make it.
Okay.
Man, it only took us like 20 minutes to get down from up there, but like an hour to go up it.
Well, it's a big difference between going downhill and going uphill.
Yep.
But we did it, and there's some awesome views from up there.
Yep. Hard to believe we, and specifically you, hiked all the way up there. I am really proud of you, sir.
Yeah.
Did you exceed your own expectations?
Yeah, I kind of did. I wasn't sure, how I was going to do on the steep climb like that, especially the switchback area. But I did okay. I just have to pace myself and stop, when I get a little bit winded. But I was okay.
You keep proving to me that age is just a number.
Yeah, it's true. It is.
This guy's going to be 75 this year, believe it or not.
Yeah, lucky me.
All right, so we're at this junction right here. So basically, this is where we came up from the Bear Gulch Reservoir right here. And then this way actually heads back down to the Bear Gulch parking area where we parked earlier today.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's good because this trail going back down Bear Gulch to the parking lot is down. Looks like it's downhill, and going back the other way is back uphill again.
Yep.
And I've had about enough of hills right now.
Well, we've only got about a mile to go to the Bear Gulch parking, so
yeah,
let's push through it.
All right, we'll make it.
So if you ever wanted to go to the high peaks from the Bear Gulch parking area, you would actually use this trail instead of going through the Bear Gulch Cave and Reservoir that we went earlier today. This is basically a shortcut to get to the high peaks.
Yeah, but I think what we did was the more fun because you get to see more.
Yeah, for sure. This is our first time on this trail here as we're taking it back to the parking lot, which you can actually kind of see a little bit out there in the distance. So, yep, we don't have much further to go.
Yeah.
It was definitely a breeze as we were making our way back towards the parking lot, going all the way back down from the high peaks. It took us only about an hour to get back to the parking lot from the high peaks versus about 3 hours hiking up all the way from the parking lot.
Remember those climbers we saw earlier today? This is the way to get to that wall, at least on the top side, right over that way. But we are just heading back to the car. And this is a little switchback right here.
This cutoff trail right here is just over a half-mile long, and luckily it is all downhill all the way to the parking lot versus the old trail where you had to go up a bit in elevation to the Bear Gulch Reservoir and then you had to drop back down again through the Bear Gulch Cave. If you want to skip the Bear Gulch Cave altogether though, this is a much easier shortcut to the high peak section of the park. And even though you missed the really awesome Bear Gulch Cave and Reservoir if you use this trail right here, the views are just absolutely amazing here, as you can see as we're making our way back towards the parking lot. Just these sheer cliffs of all of these rock formations and everything like that just really make you feel small as you're hiking this trail. I mean, just look at how small my grandpa looks next to these cliffs right here. I'm always amazed by the forces of nature that create these amazing rock formations here in these national parks, and Pinnacles is no exception to that, let me tell you folks.
Man, it's going to be really hard leaving this place, but it is getting late in the day.
My grandpa and I spent about 6 to 7 hours in Pinnacles National Park here in the spring of 2024, and we really enjoyed our time here.
Just look up, man. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Look how small my grandpa looks in this photo right here, or this video. Man, that is just crazy. I don't know how that's balancing like that, but
I don't know. You better hope you're not here if they ever have a major earthquake down here, because there's going to be all kinds of those rocks coming down.
yeah,
I guarantee it. Switchback.
Then down here on the lower section, you can just see all this moss. Makes it feel like we're in Oregon and Washington or something.
Yeah, it does. It's just, I think it's because it pretty much stays wet, pretty wet down here, even in the summer. And there's no sun. That's where you get moss.
Yep.
That's the kind of environment they need.
And we've met back up with the main trail. Next destination, the parking lot.
Yep, we made it.
Almost. Not
Yeah,
quite there
almost.
yet.
We're getting there.
Every time I see wildlife in national parks, I immediately get the camera out just to go see what's going on over here, and this particular squirrel looks like he was having a late afternoon snack here on these leaves. Seeing squirrels is actually pretty common here in Pinnacles National Park, unlike the California condor, which is one of the few places in the world where you can actually see these amazing birds here in this national park. Perhaps we can see them on a future visit to this park, but we weren't so lucky on this trip.
All right, we have safely made it back to the parking lot. I want to give you a high five for completing that trail with me.
That was fun.
That was awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I had a good time.
How would you rate it out of 10?
Oh, I'd give this place a 10. No problem.
Yeah, you really like Pinnacles National Park?
Yeah, I do, because I never knew it or didn't realize, what this was here. I mean, people are missing out on a really neat park if they don't, especially if they live in the area. They should come and check this out because it's awesome.
And I know cameras can never do places like this justice, so you really have to come out here and experience it. That Bear Gulch cave is something else, though. You really got to experience that in person.
Yeah, that's quite the thing. It's not technically it's not really a cave because there's areas where there's sunlight comes through, but it's all formed by the rocks. Mm-hmm. The rocks that have come down and just settled. That's a pretty awesome place.
Yep. And shout out to my grandpa once again for making it all the way to the high peaks.
Yeah, I did it.
All right, me and Grandpa just got out of the visitor center here at Pinnacles National Park, and guess what we're gonna start doing? We bought this travel stamp thing here at the Park Visitor Center. We're basically gonna fill this out as we visit more national parks. Of course, I'm gonna be missing some that we visited in the past couple of years because I didn't have this at the time, but go ahead and open it up. And there's our stamp and sticker for Pinnacles National Park.
Yep. And this book has all the national parks in the country. So as you travel, you can go to the park and get your stamp.
I have a feeling we're going to be crossing another one off here very soon. And then we're going to leave them with the cliffhanger. We're not going to say what.
Okay, no, we won't.
But that's going to conclude our time here in Pinnacles National Park. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I want you all to stay tuned to the next adventure. We will see you soon. I hope you enjoyed watching.